Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is February 14th. It's a Sunday here in the States, or we're talking about Monday, February 15th, and a Monday in Australia and New Zealand. Today, the moon shifts into Aries. It has been in Pisces for most of the weekend. For those of you who watch me every day, everything is fine here. Yesterday got away from me. I have a class in the morning, and then I had some things I had to personal stuff I had to deal with. And then, of course, I watched the inauguration. Not the inauguration. Yeah, I guess the impeachment. I keep calling it the inauguration. The inauguration of cowards, perhaps, but I watched the vote. And then I had to recuperate from that, as you can well imagine, as many of us have had to. Let's talk the astrology first, and then I'll say a couple of things at the end. So today we do have the moon in Aries now. Aries is a self-starter. It is passionate. It can be angry at times. We have an instinctual nature when the moon is in Aries, and for the most part, we can trust our instincts. And our instincts are different than our mind, but the mind may be a little bit harder to trust. Mainly because Mercury is retrograde. So it's a matter of having to take the information that's coming in and digest it to a certain extent, bring it inside, work it through your filters. You see things happening, you're experiencing things, take that information that you get and run it through your intuitive and instinctual filters, perhaps. And see what the next step is going to be on those ideas or those thoughts. So speaking of thoughts and ideas, today we have a conjunction between Jupiter and Mercury. Jupiter is a planet associated with our right creative brain, our intuitive brain, our intuition. Mercury is associated with our left brain, our logical reasoning, thinking. It's especially important, this conjunction this year. It happens every year. Mercury and Jupiter make their conjunction, and then Mercury, the faster moving planet, moves away from Jupiter. A idea is seeded, a theme is seeded, and of course this is happening at, let's say, 14 degrees of Aquarius. And it is a day when, to a certain extent, the right and the left brain are on the same page. And that would be the page that has the caption 14 degrees of Aquarius. And it's especially important because the nodes of the moon right now are in Gemini and Sagittarius. And Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. And Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So the journey of the nodes, the north node through Gemini and the south node through Sagittarius. What's the information, north node Gemini, that we need to gather? What are the facts? Sagittarius, what are our beliefs? What beliefs do we have, and what beliefs do we need to let go of? Perhaps you have the belief that when push comes to shove, people in power or people involved in politics are going to be above board. And perhaps that's been shattered for you, right? Maybe you didn't believe that at all. Maybe there's something else that you believed in. And so we get in a way, an opportunity to start a whole new process in the way we think about our purpose, our life on earth, our direction. So let's look at the Sabian symbol for 14 degrees of Aquarius. I'm just going to pull it up here on my computer. I'm here in my dining room. Actually, I should move that because there's a little pile of papers over there that don't look so good. All right, let me just find this here, honey. Where am I? I'm in my dining room. I just said it. Okay, 14 degrees of Aquarius. Okay, let me just find that. I'm looking in Dane Rudger's mandala, an astrological mandala with the Sabian symbols. It says a train entering a tunnel. The ability to shortcut the process of natural evolution by the exercise of will, mental skill, and physical self-discipline. We must be inspired by a vision of what is possible to achieve. You have to organize a schedule of necessary activities. The work is to be done in terms of successive moves, each requiring a specialized type of skill and strength. He has to find a propitious time for beginning the work. The end result is an acceleration of the evolutionary process, whether at the psychological level or at the social level. In its external aspects, civilization proceeds. It says, it implies the possibility of shortening the length of time needed for progress by cutting through obstacles and delays. The key word here is penetration. So, what is it that you need to do? What is it? How do you need to plan? How do you need to organize your mind and your intuition in your both sides of your brain, so to speak, to overcome and move through obstacles and heighten the evolutionary direction or procession. I had a vision or visual come to me, and I saw a great tidal wave. And that tidal wave was mass consciousness that was rising up. And it struck me that the best thing to do was to ride the wave. But how do you ride the wave? You could body surf, right? If anyone remembers how to do that, if you've ever done that. Or you can grab a surfboard, get on a surfboard and surf the wave. We're going to find ourselves in a very different place. And that is a process of evolution. We are what seems at times to be unbelievable, undoable. We're going to find out that, yes, indeed, it's believable, and yes, indeed, we can do it. I have to say, I did not expect that the inauguration would go any different, really. But I had hope. Sometimes I think that hope is... Sometimes hope is our best friend, and sometimes hope is our worst enemy. Hope without action, without planning, is just wishing. But hope and positive expectancy, taken with actions that will get us there, that is where hope works. We don't just sit on our hands and wait for things to happen. We have to do things. But what do you do? How do you fight this? How do you move forward? Well, first of all, you figure out what it is that makes your heart sing. What is it that brings you the most joy? And fill your heart with that. And take actions to do just those things. Instead of waiting for the day when you can do it, just do it. And as you do it with the intention to raise your vibration and raise the vibration of everyone, being true to yourself, fostering your own talents and abilities, and then sharing them with others, spreading the love and the joy and the hope. Systems can only work if we support them and we foster them, and we make sure that the foundations of them are strong and can withstand the storm. Today is a day to plant a seed. In your brain. A vision for the future based on fact and inspiration and imagination. You can have one without the other, but it doesn't work. You have to have both. You have to have the logical mind working, and you have to have that creative, intuitive, inspirational mind working in tandem to penetrate, to overcome, to move through obstacles that may have seemed impossible. But nothing is impossible. If we've been shown that nothing is impossible when it comes to these terrible things that somebody like you know who can perpetrate, it isn't the first time that a person has done that in history, in our written history, right? So why isn't it possible for us to bring goodness and light? It is. It's a clarion call for that. Why do you think this is happening? It's happening for us to stand up. It's happening for us to shine our light. It's happening for us so that we can extend our hearts and our minds to one another and work together. Start with the people that you agree with. Forget the people that are still stuck in the mire and the delusion that this person is some sort of messiah. That's the old age. We are the people we've been waiting for. And it's time for us to gather and work together. And I think luckily we have now an opportunity to do that with a new administration here in the United States. I think with Joe and Bernie and Kamala, we actually have an opportunity to get on our surfboards and ride this wave of change. But in a direction, we're no longer held back. We're no longer have our hands tied behind our back. What happened yesterday is a culmination of, I think, where we have to realize what's at stake here and realize that we cannot depend on the people who support the sickness of the situation to heal it. Although there were brave people there. There were, 8 Republicans, 7 Republicans, who decided to call him guilty. They have integrity. They'll be rewarded for that. So, it's been a great morning talking to you guys. I hope you have a great day, and like and subscribe. I'm going to get the week ahead out today, and maybe a reading or so. I have to see what kind of time and what comes up for me. As much as I'd like to think my time is my own, sometimes it's not. All right, guys, much love. Take care. Sorry about the camera. This is my computer, and it's got a terrible camera. I don't even know about the voice even, but I would have done this on my phone, but it died this morning because I listened to sleep tones last night going to bed. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, guys, take care. Much love, and we're good. We're good. Don't take your time to mourn. Take your time to process what has happened. Give yourself that space. And together we climb. Much love. Take care. Bye.